Good day and welcome to Wickets and Pickets' review of the second day of the first test in Chennai between England and India. I'm joined by Declan Hooper, who's today in Byron Bay. You're on the travels, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Nice early morning in Byron Bay. I might go for a walk on the beach. Maybe get myself a tie-dye t-shirt in a bit. Hey.
Sounds good. It sounds good. Another great day for England and Joe Root in particular. He became England's. I think he's gone to third on the list of run scorers for England. 8,400 and something. Gone past Alex Stewart on the list, and another double hundred. He's I'll just go to another stat for you. He's the third player. Sorry, only the second player to have scored 3 innings in succession of in excess of 180, alongside Kumar Sangakkara. So he's in good company there. Only Wally Hammond has scored more double hundreds for England. He scored 7 and Root's got 5. 218. He's in the form of his life, wouldn't you?
Well, you look like you've been doing the same amount of googling as I have. I had a quick Google. I had a quick Google as well, and
no, I knew all that. That was all up there. That was mate. All up there.
The fountain of knowledge. I saw that Joe Root hadn't made more than 3 centuries in a calendar year before. He's now made 3 in the space of a couple of weeks. So he's an incredible touch, and it was, as chanceless 200 as you can probably imagine. He didn't really. There was no real chances. It was just in control the whole time. It was incredible, and it goes to show is whatever he was doing, because he had a relatively rough time of it last year. Didn't get a century last year, so whatever maybe the break or a switch up in his game has really helped him, because he's now looks like he's absolutely on fire.
Let's just hope, for England's sake, that he doesn't sort of use all his form up before the Ashes, and that they can carry on like this form when England get to Australia later in the year. But I mean, look, he just seems to be able to just turn it on when he wants to, and then play and spin. Obviously, the pitch was doing a little bit more yesterday, especially on from the left arm spinner, Nadeem. So he managed to handle every situation yesterday, and England really in a strong position. Thanks also to the way Ben Stokes played. It was important that he came in and played the way he did, because if he'd got out early, that could have been a difficult situation. He seemed to weigh up the situation and say, look, the way the ball was spitting outside his off stump, he's got more chance of getting out if he plays in a passive way. So he decided to take the bowling on, and his 82 was crucial in the scheme of things as well.
Yeah, I think it's testament to his kind of game knowledge. He saw Nadeem was getting a bit of joy, as you say, and he said the best way to take him on was the reverse sweep. A lot of offside field and that kind of thing. It was the reverse sweeps and the kind of slog sweeps, and that kind of shots really, really paid dividends for him. And a quick word back, just quickly back on Joe Root. 6 to bring up his 200. That does, I think it's the first time ever that's happened. Someone's hit a 6 to bring up 200, which I thought was great. Straight back over Ravi Ashwin's head. But yeah, I think all in all, it's been a pretty great day for England. even your likes of Ollie Pope and Josh Butley and Dom Best all kind of getting starts and getting some runs on the board. It's been it does put the foot down on India, and it could have gone either way today, as you said. Early wickets in the morning session would have really put the pressure back on England, but the way that Stokes batted, it all seems to be kind of falling into place for England.
Yeah, it was like it was really strange in the morning when I thought they probably could have bowled the left armour first up, having Stokes in there straight away because the ball was turning into him, and there was that that rough patch outside his off stump. So maybe India missed a trick there earlier in the day. When we spoke about England possibly getting to 600, on the second day, I didn't really have much hope for that because I thought, that the Indians would show a bit of a fight back. But credit to Root and Stokes and the rest of the blokes, and maybe they can get to 600 Dom Best is probably just going to throw the bat on day 3 and see how much they can eke out. But like 550, which is what they're on now, more or less, is pretty good first innings.
I think once you
go on the first test,
once you go over 500, I think you're really in the ascendancy. You can kind of control the game how you want. You even got all ball pressure comes into it. I do think the wicket is a bit of a road. It hasn't really offered up much thus far. So, it will be tough for England to bowl on. But when you've got a team that's been in the field for 2 days, then it does wear in tough conditions. And there's some, speculation that they might declare overnight. I'm not sure if they will. I think they might just go try and get to the 600 tomorrow. But we'll just see, I suppose. Just a quick one too on I found India's fielding to be pretty poor today, and pretty poor in the last yesterday as well. So it's definitely a bit of a captain killer, that one.
Yeah, absolutely, it was. It'd be interesting to see how England bowl on there. There was some reverse swing for Ishant Sharma late in the day when he got those 2 quick wickets. He got those 2 wickets in a row. So Jimmy Anderson will be interested in that. And England need to bowl pretty well on that deck. I think it's going to be tough for India to get 700 plus, which is what they need to do to put any pressure on England at all. They've got their batting lineup is pretty good, and they can got players like Rishabh Pant who can score quickly. Shubman Gill can score quickly. England need to bowl well, but they'll be looking at it and seeing that Jack Leach needs to bowl well. Dom Best needs to bowl well. It's a test for England to see how this attack goes. Against arguably the best top 6 in world cricket at the moment.
And I do think, even the 30 odd that Dom Best is getting, I think we were talking about getting in Moeen as a bit of an all-rounder. You'd almost argue now that Dom Best is he averages 30 in Test cricket. I don't think you would have got many more runs from Moeen as you did from Dom Best today.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably justified his selection with his batting performance alone.
So but it's still, I still think that these, obviously he's in there for his bowling more than his batting. So he needs to prove he can do that again like he did in Sri Lanka. From England's point of view, I hope he does. It's quite an impressive thing they've done though in the last 2 days. I don't think before the series started that anyone would have seen England getting 500, 600 because Their top order has been pretty fragile over the last couple of years, but maybe the tide's starting to turn, and they can.
Australia didn't get over 400 in the whole Test series in Australia.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And then that's in Australia. So for England to get, it's going to be close to 600 by the time they finish up. Well, we'll see. But 555 stubs today. So it'll be a big achievement, whatever the final total is. I mean, it can't be understated how much of that needs to go to Root. Captaincy took him. He's taking the game on by himself. It's the highest score from a foreigner. It overtakes Dean Jones's 210 in Chennai.
Yeah,
it's the highest score by a foreigner at the ground. It's it can't really be understated how good that innings was.
No, absolutely. And he was cramping on towards the end of the first day. He managed to come out again and do it all again yesterday, get 100 quicker than he got his first 100 as well, which is pretty good. Just an aside, there was some great sportsmanship from Virat Kohli on that first day, which I forgot to mention when he helped Root stretch out his calves when he got cramp, and then yesterday when he got out, Virat took the time to shake his hand as he left the field. So you've got to give it to Virat Kohli. He's a battler, but he's also one of the top sportsmen, as in shows a lot of sportsmanship.
Yeah, I found that this test. I mean, obviously coming back from the Australia test where there was quite a lot of niggle, this test seems to be played in quite a good spirit. A lot of chatter from behind the stumps and that kind of thing, but it's all been pretty good natured thus far.
Yeah,
which is good to see. Coming off, as we say, that test series in Australia, which did get a bit nasty towards the end there.
I don't think there's no need for it. I think it's just like you can have a go, not like make your comments, but you don't need to make it personal or anything like that. So I think as long as you do it with a bit of humour, there's no problem with it. Other than that, I don't think you need to do it at all. I think sledging is over egged. To be honest, I don't agree with doing it. To be honest, I think it's important that you have a bit of humility as well. You never know when you're going to be a Rohit Sharma and drop an absolute sitter in the mid wicket or whatever. So you can't be going on saying something about someone when you've got the chance to make a balls up yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like you need to be very careful what you say.
And obviously, we'll do a complete review show of the BBL, but just a quick word on the Sydney Sixers winning the competition there. Good to see. Best team won, I think.
Yeah, I think overall they deserve to win. They've had players in form for most of the tournament. It's good to see the likes of James Vince being like one of the star players for the Sydney Sixers, because he's like plays proper cricket shots. He's not a slogger. He got 98 in the semi-final and then 95 in the final, against the Scorchers. So he's obviously enjoyed them. But yeah, I think the Sixers deservedly winners. They've had the players in form. They've had Philippe get up the top, getting runs. They've managed to get wickets when they need to get wickets. Ben Dorcius has picked up wickets in the power surge yesterday, which completely killed the Scorchers. And then Vince made that a fantastic catch to get rid of Mitchell Marsh, which won them the game. So well deserved for the Sydney Sixers. I don't think anybody else other than the Thunder in the early tournament We're one of the, but they choked against the Heat. And the other one thing I would say is that England seem to have some decent players coming through in the T20 form of the game.
Yeah, I was just saying to you before. I think they were really stars of the T20 this year. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, kind of leading into a T20 World Cup with the likes of Alex Hales and Liam Livingston as well, who actually gets picked in that England team because they've got an embarrassment of riches.
They have.
Thanks for your time again this morning. I'll
no worries.
Wipe the crust out our eyes again. Wipe the crust out our eyes again tomorrow. Hey, and have a chat about the third day. Should be a pretty interesting one, and should be kind of as they always say, day 3's moving day. So we'll see what comes up.
Very interesting day ahead, I think. Thank you very much, Declan. We'll speak again tomorrow.